Hello everybody, welcome back to another Self-Care Sunday stretch. If you've been following along with us each week through this journey, we are going to calm the nervous system, go into some deep stretching and some deep breathing. So begin with your feet together, arms in mountain pose. We're going to place one arm over our chest and then the other hand over top. Just breathing into the heart center, grounding yourself and preparing your mind to calm and cool and collect yourself together. Make sure that you're inhaling deeply in through the nose and exhaling audibly out the mouth. We're going to widen our stance, open our arms up nice and wide, and then flip that left wrist up, bringing our right ear to our right shoulder. We're going to feel that stretch down the whole left side of the neck, down into the left shoulder, and then down all the way into the left wrist. By having that palm flipped up, you're going to feel that stretch a little deeper. Over to the right side, right wrist up, left ear to left shoulder, and feeling that stretch down the whole right side of the neck, right shoulder, and right wrist. Great. Back over to the left side. We're going to gently roll that neck from ear to ear. We never want to roll all the way around because we have two bones, the axis and the axle bone, that sit right at the very top of the neck. And when we roll back, it will begin to crunch down on those two bones. So we want to avoid that just by stopping when we reach the left ear and then rolling it right back to the right. Good. Deep breath in, reach those arms up. We're going to hinge at the waist, bringing our body forward into a forward fold. Let that head hang heavy, and then bring your hands to your elbows, and then find your comfortable position. If you'd like, you can gently begin to just rock side to side, opening up through one side of the body into the right hamstring and then over to the left. Good. Think about relaxing your jaw. You know, we tend to carry a lot of tension in the jaw. Place your hands to the floor, come up to a half lift, and then we're going to fold forward again. Let that head hang heavy. Hands to elbows, and gently rocking side to side. And that stretch nice into the back of the hamstrings. Good. Begin to stop back at the middle. Good. Hands come to knees, half lift. And then folding forward one more time. We're going to widen our feet and drop the hips down. Bring our hands together and gently go side to side. That one heel can lift off of the ground while you plant the other heel firmly. And just gently rocking in through the hips. If you can't quite get so low, that's okay too. Just come halfway down. We're going to pause over on the right side. Flex that left foot up. You want to point your toes towards you and then walk one hand on either side of your leg and gently fold forward over that left leg. Now with that toe flipped up, you should feel the stretch into the back of the calf. And then as long as the knee is straight out, you should feel the stretch into the back of the hamstrings. Now, if you can't bring both hands to the floor, that's okay. You can just prop up on one. Good. Plant that left foot down and then stretching over into the right leg. Flip that right toe up into the back of the right calf. One arm on either side and then gently forward folding over that right leg. Feeling that stretch up into the right hamstring. Good. Walking it back over to the left side one more time. Flip that toe up, one hand on either side. Forward fold, stretching into the left hamstring once again. Good. Making our way back over to the right side. Flip the right toes up. One hand on either side of the leg, and then folding over the right leg one more time. Good. Bringing it back to center. We're going to come down onto our knees, sit the bum back onto the heels, and then flip that right wrist up, left ear to left shoulder, once again stretching through the right side of the neck. And begin to roll that right wrist in a clockwise circular motion. And then switch into a counterclockwise motion. Bringing it over to the left side, lift the left wrist up, right ear to right shoulder, feeling that stretch down the whole left side of the neck. And then again, you've got the option to roll the wrist on the left side in a clockwise rotation, and then in a counterclockwise rotation. Good. We're going to come up into stretching the hip flexor. So take a big step forward on that right leg. You're going to hinge forward, push the left hip forward so that you feel that stretch into the left side, the front of the left hip. So where that attachment point is of our abdominals and the top of our quadricep, the very front of that hip is where our hip flexors are, and they can come very, very tight if we do a lot of sitting. Bring your left hand down to the ground, right hand up to the sky, looking up towards your right thumbnail for a gentle spine twist. Remember to keep pushing that left hip forward so you're feeling that stretch into the front of the leg. Good. Rotate that right arm down and then reach it back up to the sky. We're going to do 3 of those. So swoop that right arm under and then opening it back up. One more time. Swoop that arm under and then opening it up. Bring that right hand to right thigh. We're going to push that leg back, sitting back into our hips, and then flex that right leg up, or your right toes up, so that you're feeling that stretch once again into the back of the right calf and the back of the right hamstring. One arm on either side, holding yourself up like kickstands. We're going to rock forward back into that hip flexor stretch and then rock it back into the hamstring. Rock it forward into that hip flexor stretch and then rocking it back into that hamstring. Good. One more time, rock forward and then rock it back. We're going to switch over to the other side. So taking a big, after a couple shoulder rolls, taking a big step forward on that left foot. We're going to hinge that right hip forwards, sinking into the hip. Bring your hands to your thighs. Just think about your hip moving towards the floor. This time, we're going to take our right hand and we're going to bring it down to the floor. Lift the left arm up, looking up towards the left thumbnail. And again, continuing to push that right hip down towards the floor. We're going to swoop our left arm under this time, and then open it back up, looking towards that left thumbnail. Swoop under, and bring it back up to that left thumbnail. One more time. Swoop under. And then exhale, bringing it up, looking up towards that thumbnail. Good. Bring that left arm down. We're going to flex that left hamstring up. Point the toes towards you, and then forward folding into that left hamstring, feeling it all the way down the left back side of the leg. Good. Hinging forward into that hip flexor stretch, and then sitting the hips back into the hamstring on the left side. Rock forward into the hip flexor, and then back into the left hamstring, tuck the chin. One more time, rocking forwards into the hip flexor, maybe a little deeper this time. Drop the knees. We're going to come down onto all fours in tabletop position, and we're going to move through a few cat-cows. So in cat stretch, tuck your chin to your chest, arch your back, rounding the spine, and then lifting the chest. Eyes look up into cow, arching the back. Back to cat, rounding the spine, chin tucks to the chest, big arch in the spine. Good, and then lift the chest, eyes look up, arching the back into cow. Again into cat, nice and big, puff up that back, round out the shoulders. Our goal here is to separate the shoulder blades. And then back to neutral spine. We're coming into a bird dog, and we're going to hold this stretch a little longer. So you can flex your toes down towards the floor, and you're going to extend your arm and your leg out like you're trying to touch the wall in front of you and kick the wall behind you. So really lengthening out the spine. Switching sides. This time, our left arm is going to extend out, right leg is going to kick back. Again, right toes are pointed down towards the floor. We're reaching forward out with that left arm, kicking back with that right leg, and lengthening through the spine, all while maintaining some balance. Good. Returning to our tabletop. We're going to tuck that right arm underneath the left and bring our shoulder right down towards the floor with our right palm flipped up towards the sky. You should feel the stretch all down the whole right side of that shoulder. We're not putting too much pressure on the shoulder down into the floor. We're just letting it gently rest against the ground. Back up, we're going to switch. Tuck that left arm underneath, bring your left shoulder down towards the floor, and let that arm gently rest against the ground. The weight of gravity in our body is going to do all of the work here. So you should be feeling that stretch into the outer left shoulder. Up into our downward dog. You can bend your knees slightly, extend those arms forward, and then walking out the back of the hamstrings by lifting one ankle and then the other, or one heel and then the other. Good, and then beginning to walk your hands back towards your feet into another forward fold. But this time we're going to walk it over to the left side of the body. So you should be feeling the stretch now into one hamstring more than the other. And then we're going to walk it back to center and then over to the right side of the body. It's important here again to remember no tension in the neck, so let your head hang heavy. Good. Bringing it back to center and then slowly vertebrae by vertebrae bring it back to an upright position. We're going to pick up that right leg with the foot, and then we're going to push that hip forward so we feel that stretch into the quadricep, front of the thigh, and then finding balance. It helps here to find a focal point to look at. This stretch is much harder to do if you have your eyes closed, so try to keep your eyes open if you're having trouble finding balance. Over into the left side, same thing. Front of that left quad. Honor yourself, give yourself thanks. You can come back into mountain pose. Thank you guys again for joining me for another Self-Care Sunday stretch. Have a fantastic Sunday.